Hello everyone. So recently I posted a picture in my community tab of this drawing I did of this character. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I should make a video about him. So this is the video. Oh, really quick, unrelated, my family's asleep right now, so I'm trying not to talk that loud. It's like 7 in the morning. Anyways, but it's really cool because I've actually introduced this character in a video before. But that was a long time ago and he has a different look now. Anyways, but if you guys are wondering what I'm drawing right now, I'm actually drawing the same character that I showed you earlier, just in a different stage. So let me tell you guys his story. So I have this story that for now I'm calling it the Jester story just because I have no name for it. And in the Jester story, there's 3 kings. The Mime King, the Clown King, and the most powerful, the Jester King. So all the kings, have their loyal subjects, but then each king has top tier servant, the best of the best, it's always by their side, loyal subject kind of thing. So this character, oh, by the way, his name's Dead End. So Dead End was the Jester King's top servant. In this world of jesters and chaos, there's a good amount of rules. So in the story, there's, clowns, mimes, and jesters. So if the subjects are either born a clown, mime, or jester, they have certain rules that apply to only them. And if someone breaks these rules, there's certain consequences. And that's where Dead End comes in. Everyone in that planet is labeled either jester, clown, or mime. So Dead End is a jester. So his job is to do the penalty of the worst, crimes, I guess. Which, if you saw earlier, he had a scythe, so you could probably see where this is going. Basically, his job's to murder people. That got dark. This world ain't all sunshine and rainbows, people. I have characters with trauma, yay! I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I woke up too early. Anyways, I imagine the scene that a peasant comes into the castle room where the Jester King is, and this peasant has disobeyed one of the bigger laws. So the subject walks up to the king, and he kind of walks onto this circle rug thing, it appears to be a rug. And then the king would say, oh, did you do this and this and this? I'm not really sure what he would do, but yeah. The little peasant would be like, yes, I did, but I have a wife and kids, so spare me, Then the Jester King just looks at Dead End and he says, do your thing. I would imagine that throughout my story, Dead End kind of goes through a roller coaster of emotions. But currently, he just looks at this poor peasant and says sorry in a sad tone and raises his scythe and then hits it to the ground, and then the peasant kind of just looks confused. But the rug he was standing on wasn't actually a rug. It seemed to be something that was alive, and it opened its mouth and this peasant fell to his death. I imagine this rug to be a circle, and then there ends up actually being eyes, and when it opens its mouth, its tongue comes out to just be comical, because they're jesters, That's their whole thing. So I'm thinking that's the less gruesome way that Dead End kind of kicks people. Why did I say kicks people? I meant to say kick the bucket, but it came out really wrong. I'm gonna cry. Anyways, he does not kick people, okay? What I meant to say is that that's one of the ways he kind of kills people, the least gruesome way. There, he has a scythe for a reason, so he's gonna use it. But I'm thinking Dead End wasn't really he was chosen, if that's the correct word, to be this thing. It wasn't by choice. He was chosen by the king to be kind of the murderer. And I'm thinking that will show through his demeanor, because currently he has a mask right now and you can't really tell what he's feeling, and he's kind of always slouching. And on his mask, where his supposed eyes are supposed to be, there's kind of little drips coming under his eye, which I feel that's supposed to be representing the tears he's cried after he's killed people, because he's never really liked doing that. He wasn't trained for the army or something. He's a regular human, not really, because he kind of looks like a demon. But he feels sorrow. So I would just imagine that he bottles up his feelings until just one day it has to come out, and then he just cries, which that's kind of sad, but yeah. But anyways, one day he can't take this no longer. He thinks all the rules are stupid for being a jester. He thinks it's silly for people to be forced to be entertainers. Oh, and keep in mind, in this world, they don't know what civilized life is. Like for us, like they have never experienced what we have, like cars, regular phones, YouTube, for example. All they know is being a jester and how their world is. So, which that leads to the question, who has thought of not being a jester? Because that seems unthinkable to something you've like lived your whole life knowing, but well, I'll think about that later. But basically, one day he's had enough and he decides to rebel. Do you guys remember earlier I mentioned that there is 3 kings? And each king has their own little top tier servant? Yeah, Dead End kind of just kidnaps both of the servants. Okay, so one of them, which is the Clown King's servant, she's kind of cooperating because she's like, you know what, I agree with you, these rules do suck. Because I feel like the Clown King is very hysterical and like kind of crazy, which kind of makes sense. And I feel like the Mime King, he's also kind of hysterical but quiet about it. Like you can look into his eyes and you would feel like he's stealing your soul or something. Anyways, oh, the clown girl, she don't have a name yet. But the other servant, his name is Seth. He is not as cooperated? You know what I mean. Seth is very shy boy. He loves his king. He's like, I don't care if the rules suck. I love my king, so leave me alone. But Dead End's like, no, you're coming with me. So I'm thinking Dead End takes off his mask and his silly costume and he's like, I'm gonna rebel and do my own thing. At this time, he's kind of lost a bit of sympathy for, like, I guess human life, and like he's willing to kind of kill people to get what he wants. And what he wants is to not be forced to be a jester anymore. And he's kind of doing this for everyone, not just himself. But he's like, if I need to kill a few lives to get that for everyone, then that's what it shall be. I'm thinking he may or may not have killed one of the main characters, but you know, they come back because they're one of my favorites. And maybe, possibly, almost killed the main character, but we don't need to talk about that. But basically, I'm thinking he's one of like the main villains towards the end, but then kind of like flips the switch. But that's kind of spoilers. But yeah, that was the summed up story of Dead End. Oh, by the way, Dead End is a title that's not his real name. And don't ask me what his real name is, because I don't know. So now I'm gonna talk more about the art. So throughout this whole video, I was just trying to like draw like Dead End over and over again so I can see what I like and don't like about him. And you also saw me draw him with and without the mask. I thought it'd be cool if he had like a little like ponytail, because I don't know, I feel like I don't have too many like manly characters that have like ponytails. Oh, and I try to play around with his scythe and try to make it more silly and kind of hysterical, but I'm like, maybe I'll play around with that later because I don't really want to think about the scythe right now, so I decided to just get rid of it for this drawing. And also, you know, I feel like his shape, or his main shape, is probably spades, because I remember hearing somewhere that spades resemble death. I'm not sure, but I'm sticking to it. I feel like I would like to imagine that Dead End's always kind of slouching, and I feel like those clothes kind of look heavy as well, so every time he walks, he kind of stomps a tiny bit, and like his little bells like kind of jingle, I guess. So yeah, I feel like the hardest, like, you know, 2 of the hardest things to draw on Dead End is his ears and his eyes, well, at least on the mask. It's really hard for me for some reason, even though I'm the one who designed him, but whatever. There wasn't really any finished illustrations today, just more of concept art and sketching and all that stuff. But I hope you did like hearing me talk about my character Dead End. There are still some things I need to figure out, like where the heck did he come from and where was he before he was Dead End. I'm thinking he might have been in prison. But yeah, that's the end of the video, so bye. Dang, guys, did you see the last video? You probably did, because it has like 2K like something views. Where did that come from? Is it just the algorithm me mentioning link in the thumbnail or something? Because I did not see that coming. That is currently my most popular video, but my most popular short is like 5K, so super unrelated, but I almost hit my face with my tablet just now.